We have to change from doubter to believer.
Good morning everyone and welcome to DTBTV for Liverpool versus Burnley part 2. So, not long to go now, just over 24 hours until we play Burnley at home, and as you well know, it's Burnley, and Burnley are very attacking, very defensive, and Liverpool really need to find the lineup which is going to literally open up, you know, the Burnley defence as early as possible. Now, with regards to that, I did say yesterday that I'd play Shaqiri behind the front two. The news is nothing really. It's, I think, more or less from what I'm hearing, it's going to be 4-3-3 again, and it'll be the usual 4-3-3. So it'll be like Firmino, Mane, and Salah. There has to be a sense of loyalty there, for the fact that basically Klopp loves these players. They've done him well for the last few years, and basically, why wouldn't you stick with them? But to me, I think something has to change. We don't want to be going out every week looking so, so obvious. Morning, Sam. So obvious in how we set up. I mean, I'd like to see something different from Klopp this time, to try and show that he's working on ideas to find a way through. So I'm just going to we'll go into detail in a minute on lineups and stuff, etc. But what I want to talk about at the moment is basically what you think. Do you think that the front three deserve another chance to put it right? Let's not forget we battered Crystal Palace, but we played Minamino in that game, and Minamino, I don't get why we didn't let him go on from that. I said that in my part 1. We should have let him go on from that, but we didn't. And I don't know whether or not there's something going on behind the scenes with Minamino. I've just been reading about the transfer window, and apparently we're not going to be going in for anybody. So that's a bit disappointing. But we don't know. You just don't know, because you never know what to listen to when Klopp and that speaking, because when they say sometimes all these things like we haven't got the money to go in the window, or we won't go in the window because nobody will want to sell to us. Are they just saying that so that maybe a club then approaches Liverpool and says, oh, listen, you're thinking that you can't afford, we're actually got him. I mean, I said this on part 1. There is players out there. That Memphis Depay for Lyon, he's got only a year left on his contract, and you can get him for next to nothing. So there is players out there if we wanted to bring somebody in to push the front three. Mate, incredible news with regards to this morning, seeing Virgil training in Dubai, where he's kneeing a football in the air, doing flick ups, doing tap ups. Looks fresh, looks like he's in an environment where he's going to be relaxed and warm and being able to really get back. That was such an uplifting thing to see. And I put it on my personal Facebook this morning that if we can just stay in the title race, then wouldn't that be a boost to have Virgil just slotting straight back in? And I don't think he'll have any problems just going back to being the Virgil we all know. This injury isn't going to make him 4'5". This injury ain't going to stop him from heading the ball. This injury ain't going to ruin his passing. This injury ain't going to ruin his leadership, his commanding of that area. So, Alan Shearer had 2 cruciate ligament injuries. Danny Ings has had 2 cruciate ligament injuries. This is Virgil's first one. And given how quickly he's already recovered, I wouldn't have any worries about Virgil commanding the Liverpool defence for the next 5 years at least. Well, the next 5 years, I'd say, before he probably goes back to Holland and finishes his career at Feyenoord or someone like that. So anyway, going to some facts and stats. I just want to read out my preview for the Burnley match. So, an uninspired Liverpool with an injury crisis in defence ground out a goalless draw last time out, extending their unbeaten Premier League record run at home to 68 games, a streak that saw them pick up 178 out of a possible 200 points. However, also ended a 42-game Premier League scoring streak at home, and I didn't know that. We've ended a 42 games, so we scored 42 games in a row at home, and gave Liverpool a 3rd consecutive top-flight match without a goal, drawn 2, lost 1. Putting them on the verge of 4 in a row without scoring for the first time since May 2000. Subsequently, they start the midweek round in 4th place and have an awful shot conversion rate of just 1.61% across the last 4 matches. Thanks for that slip down the table. It's probably a good time to face Burnley then, considering Liverpool have scored 13 straight top flight head-to-heads against Burnley and haven't lost at Anfield versus the Claret since September 1974 was the last time Burnley beat us at Anfield. We've won 5 and drawn 2. Burnley's scoring woes are even worse than Liverpool's, and they travel here after failing to find the net in the joint league high 10 Premier League games this term. Wow, in 10 Premier League games, this is why they always ruin my coupons. Burnley have failed to score in 10 games. Just one place above the relegation zone, and the fixtures have now averaged a league low of 1.82 goals per match. That low scoring is more pronounced on the road, with 6 of Burnley's last 7 Premier League games ending with under 1.5 goals. All of which hasn't helped the visitors in the slightest, as only bottom side Sheffield United have picked up fewer than Burnley, 6 away points. So on the road this season, Burnley have won 1 game, they've drawn 3 and lost 5. The players to watch are Sadio Mane, who has scored 3 goals across the last 2 home head-to-head victories versus Burnley. And Chris Wood for Burnley is the only player to have scored more than twice in a Premier League campaign. However, he has head-to-head strike, or was it the only head-to-head strike he had between Liverpool and Burnley was an own goal. Hot stat, 7 of Burnley's 9 Premier League games featured the same half-time, full-time result. Will not play for Liverpool: Joe Gomez, Diego Jota, Naby Keita, Tishika Makas and Virgil van Dijk. And the questionable is a groin injury for Joel Matip, but I think Matip will play. You can watch that game on Sky Sports Main Event and Premier Sports in Czech Republic. I don't even know why I read that out. Right. Going to other news. Let's just go back here a minute. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, John. So with regards to tomorrow, I'm going to be live from about 7:30 because I'm working tomorrow on a 12-hour shift. So I'll be getting back here about 10 past, have my tea, and then I'll be ready. So I'll be live at 7:30 tomorrow for everybody joining me for, fingers crossed, a big win. And this is a funny story. Oh, funny possibility, sorry, not a story. Manchester United giving it all the mouth. Now not top, second. And if Manchester City win in the earlier game, they'll drop to 3rd. And if they fail to, if we win, they could drop to 4th. So if Fulham can beat them or draw. So the league table at the moment, Leicester played 19, won 12, drawn 2, lost 5, 38 points. Manchester United played 18, won 11, drawn 4, lost 3, 37 points. Manchester City played 17, so they have 2 games in hand on Leicester, Man City. Won 10, drawn 5, lost 2, 35 points. Liverpool played 18, won 9, drawn 7, lost 2, 34 points. So if Manchester United lose, they stay on 37. Man City win, they go to 38 to top. Man City will be top tonight if they win. So that will drop Leicester down to 2nd, Manchester United down to 3rd, and then if we beat Burnley, we'll go on to 37 points, which will put us 2nd. So Manchester United could be at 10 o'clock Thursday night 4th, and that will make me piss myself. So yeah, so incredible league season this season. From West Ham on 32 points in 7th, they're only 6 points off the title race. Jesus Christ. You know, 19 games gone, you've got West Ham, Everton, Tottenham, Liverpool, Man City, Manchester United and Leicester, all with a realistic chance of being able to win the league. And also don't write out Aston Villa, because Aston Villa have only played 15 games. They have 4 games in hand on top of the league, Leicester. So if they won all 4, I'm not saying they've got to, 29, 32, 35, 38, 40, is it 4 games? No. 38, yeah, they could be joint top. Wow. So Villa are even in the mix with 15 games played only. So yeah, so really looking forward to tomorrow. I'll be straight from work, straight here to see yous on live video, and I really want us to really get behind the side tomorrow, regardless of what side that Jurgen picks. And the main thing is we're only 1 win away from capitalising on going top again. Let that sink in. Virgil's on his way back. He'll be back by March. If he's flicking up footballs now and he's freely moving the way he's doing. They'll probably step up to running and twist and turning by the end of this month. Then they'll probably put him into light training by the start of February. Then they'll probably put him into training by end of February. I'm looking at some under 23 games. I don't know whether they still do that, but in the olden days they used to play you in the reserves when you were coming back from injury. Give him a couple of 23 games, give him the armband, get him playing again. Let him play for the whole of March in the 23s, in my opinion. Get him back for April and May and June. Is it June? It'll be a late finish this year. I'm sure. No, sorry, May. Sorry, April and May. Get him back for that. So, what's your thoughts on that? And I hope you enjoyed this Liverpool v Burnley Part 2. You'll never walk alone.